Thank you for joining this episode of Soul Love. If you want to find out more about what we do, you can find it below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Much love. Before we start the next Soul Love conversation, I want to invite you to check out my amazing book, Activating the Flower of Love, a sacred guide for manifesting your deepest desires and highest calling. This sacred book, filled with powerful tools and activations, will guide you to open your heart to the beauty and wisdom within you, empowering you to create the life you deeply desire from the foundation of love. You can find Activating the Flower of Love in all the major online and offline bookstores in ebook or paperback, or you can check it out through my website, kimnes.nl. where you can also discover the different ways of working with me and the latest updates on new starting programs. Enjoy this next episode of Soul Love. Welcome everyone to a new episode of Soul Love. And today I'm honored and excited to share a sacred conversation with Koen Logtens, and I welcome you within this sacred space.
Hi, Kim. Nice to meet you again after we met at a funeral, huh? We had a very intense and very caring moment together. And thank you for inviting me.
It's really sometimes how life brings us together, just a mutual friend. Yeah, so it was really, we're grateful, and it's amazing how that works. And we're both Dutch, so that's also interesting. I love sharing an English conversation.
My pronunciation,
Yes. Hopefully there's a subtitle now. Yes, no. But I really love, I love how life just brings beautiful souls on our path, and just like you, and you live a little bit further in the Netherlands, but this was our first connection. But I love your mission and what you're doing in the world, and we will share more about it. But you're working with children and also adults, but really taking I love that you have a theater school, so you're bringing the essence of who we are through acting, through connecting to our emotions, and I love that, because that's so important in this time. And but I'm curious, as you started your career, what sparked for you to go on this path? What sparked for you to really connect to this emotional, this expression, because there's so much depth in what you're doing. So
yeah, it started off as a child. I was always playing characters and talking to everybody around me in this life and the other side. But I also was sitting at school, being kind of bored and dreaming a lot, thinking about looking outside of the window and thinking about, why is there war and destruction in this world? Why doesn't the local government plant fruit trees or herbs side of the street? But also questions like, who decided what I needed to learn here in this school, and who made this up? I was thinking about who makes money, and why do we have to pay for everything in this world? Because we have everything we need, but everything seemed to be sold out.
Yes,
So that's what I was thinking about as a child. But after that, the teacher and my parents told me that I needed to go to school and I needed to get a job and make money. To get a safe spot in this theater of life. That's how I call it. And then I started off, and I went to a school for a teacher, for primary school teacher. That was my first education. And after that, I started working, and I really liked working with kids and doing a lot outside of the program, because as a teacher, I needed to bring out or a lesson, a program, and I wanted to teach from my heart, from my own wisdom, from my intuition, from knowledge I have searched for, but not from me to the children. No, I wanted to ask children questions about life and who they are, why they were here. And I wanted them to search them for themselves.
Yeah.
And there, the system, the educational system, and my desires, kind of collapsed.
Yes.
And that was a point of return for me. That I said, I want to make how do you say that? I want to not really bring a message, but I want to create a place where children can grow in consciousness, where they can play, where they can grow in how do you feel, how do you deal with emotions, and a place where children can be themselves and where they are being seen, really seen for who they are.
Yeah.
And where they not feel a part, where they feel a part of a whole. Like we've all got this little puzzle in a big puzzle, and everybody's got this piece of puzzle, and we need to fit it in one big puzzle. And we do it not alone, but we do it together. So that's why I decided to create a job for myself.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't get paid every month, so that was a bit scary. I thought, how do I get my money? I realized after that was also a construct in my head, which was based on fear. So I had to overcome the fear first.
Yes. It's learning the lesson.
I started in a theater school.
Yeah.
And I've got my piece of puzzle and my contribution to the world, or to people.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. But when I hear you speak, it's like, this is what, well, for me and my children, what I wish that we would have learned at school. Like when we go to school, we're being pushed into a box, disconnected from ourselves. And then as an adult, we start to feel like, okay, I'm in this program, or I followed the path that I'm supposed to follow from whoever. Yeah. And it doesn't feel aligned, and I've lost myself. And then it's coming back to our emotions and our feelings and our true self. And I love that also as well in your journey. As a child, you had this awareness and this openness, but then also you went to experience like, okay, how is it to be a teacher and to be limited by the things society or the government is saying that teachers need to. So also experiencing in a way, the box, and then choosing to expand from it, or to,
That's
I think it's beautiful.
I couldn't say better, Kim.
But I think a lot, just everyone tuning in as well, a lot of the things we experience, like even for me, illness and all of that, it came from me disconnecting from myself. It came from me not honoring my emotions and my feelings, and not knowing anymore who I am. But it's like, so how the younger we are to really follow our path and to follow our truth and to follow our emotions. So I think that's why I love your mission and your purpose. And
it starts off with listening to your I always call it your inner wisdom, inner voice. How do you call it? But at first we need to be really quiet. And just we need to feel at first, be aware to hear that inner voice. And there are all the answers. But us has been taught that the answers are always in the outside world. So we keep on running in the outside world, but a lot of people are not capable of finding the answers in the outside world. We need to look inwards to see at first who we are, and secondly, then we reach our real potential, which we can work on and give some water and ground to grow.
Yes,
that's where it starts.
What is really
the other way around sometimes.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because that's why I'm curious, like, what has helped you? Because the voice out there is very loud, of programming, of society, of what has helped you to really honor your inner voice and to say, okay, this is my path, this is my truth, this is why I'm here. It's not what I need to be, or
I think Corona opened a lot of doors for me.
Yes.
because there was so much things happening in this world that I thought, man, this world is upside down. What is going on? There's something happening in this world, something that we have never in our lifetime never experienced. But there's one thing, one point we need to follow, and that is still keeping the program, keeping the system going. Everything needed to go online, but there are also people who are saying, "Oh, nice to firstly to sit back and have some quiet time for myself." And the world slowed down a bit, and there were a lot of people who liked it. But at the other side, we need to run and go ahead in this, in this, how do you say
Rat
it?
race. Yes.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
Fortune.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why and that what made me realize. At first, I was also in the outside world. What is going on? What has been taught? What have I learned in my life? And I was questioning a lot of things, and I was looking for all the answers. And there were a lot of things. And how more I searched for answers, more the more I searched for answers, but it didn't make me happy.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of fear also inside of me, and the fear was rising up inside of myself.
Yeah.
So I had a choice, or I follow the fear, or I look at the fear.
Yeah.
And that was a kind of point of return for me, where the outside world flipped into the inside world.
Yes.
And I became quiet. And I have a theater school, so I didn't have work at the moment. And I went to this river here in my place, my town. And I always went to the same spot, and I would sit down and just be quiet. Close my eyes, open my eyes, doesn't matter, just sitting there and feeling.
Yeah.
And in about 3 months, sitting there, my whole life passed by, from a little child till a grown-up person.
Yes. Ever evolving. Yes.
Yeah. And that's where I learned the most. And then a lot of answers came to me. Yeah. And then I went looking in the outside world, and there was a kind of synchronicity taking place, because I like reading books, and there were books on my path, like Nag Hammadi readings, the Hermetic Principle readings, the Upanishads, and those writings emerged with my experience.
Yes.
So the inside knowing and the outside insights came together. And that was a very delightful period for me, because it is like, the roof of a house opened up.
Yes.
And the flower of life could grow. But there was a new phase in my life, because I lost myself in going that direction.
Yeah.
But I forgot to be grounded and do it here on this earth, three-dimensional space, where action is being needed to get something done. But so that is my kind of process in going from outside, going within.
Yes. And for everyone, I think at one point in our lives, we get a wake-up call, or we get a moment where where our soul is calling us back home. And that is, but it is quiet. It's not in doing another program, doing another, learning more, doing more, being more. No, it's in coming back to who we are and uncovering all the layers that society and our parents and all of that put on us, and really listen. But that's most of the time the most difficult thing, because then when we start to listen, it is the most profound and awakening and freeing but it is also the most difficult, because then we're, as you said, like your whole life passed you by, and we're also being invited to feel again, maybe things that we pushed away, parts of ourselves that we denied, or maybe we're unsafe when we were a child, and now it's coming back to return to love, to be witnessed, to
It's like being quiet is like pumping up a ball underneath the water.
Yes.
And while you get quiet and take your time, the ball rises up to the surface.
Yeah.
And then a lot of patterns, a lot of inner child topics rise up.
Yeah.
And if you've got a choice, you can see how your life has been unfolded, has been unfolded, and then you think, okay, okay. But there's a lot of emotions also rising up to the surface. Man, I cried. I've been angry. First, I've been angry, a lot of things, and then the sadness came, loneliness came, the part of not being understood came as a child because of my vision to the world. Was a bit different than my surroundings. So I kept quiet. I didn't say a lot about that. I played the clown. Another coping mechanism.
Yes, yes.
Because you want to be a part of the group.
We all, I think a lot of us have that pattern of...
We desire wholeness.
Yeah. But it's what I also love to circle back to the fear you said, because we only feel fear if there's a part within us that believes that fear is true. And you sitting with yourself in silence, witnessing that fear, no walking away, no numbing yourself, no, because society is also like, keep busy, numb yourself, all of that. No, sit with yourself and feel, because then you face the fear and it transforms, instead of it keep knocking on your door in louder ways. And
fear is the absence of unconditional love. And but we need to be aware of fear first.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's a unconscious program we're running. So we need to get the unconscious, get the unconscious conscious.
It is. I always say, when you start to love yourself more, those bubbles, as you shared, they come up, but it is because they feel safe enough, and it's time for you to step. It is because you're choosing to grow. These patterns come up. It's not a weakness. It's not when fear knocks on your door, there's growth, and there is.
And in my opinion, it's not about searching for the light.
No.
Because then we have misunderstood, and we can be misled by living the life of only love and light. There is still shit going on inside of myself and in this world, and I have to deal with that part too.
It's still denying.
I've also had the phrase of getting into that spiritual bypass of everything is love. And yes, and when we reduce everything to one point, to the one wholeness or nothingness, there is only unconditional love. That's who we are and where we came from. But in our physical body, we have a lot of experiences, and we have to deal with that. So letting go is sometimes also letting happen what is at the moment.
It is.
Then you will let go.
I love that, because true unconditional love is also accepting, like the dirt, the darkness, it's being the resilient in moving in both. It's not only accepting the light and the joy and it's also accepting our anger and because that's also part of life. And
darkness is unconscious of the light.
Yes.
But we need to shine the light on the darkness to transmute, to transform to lightness.
It is.
And lightness in the way of both pronunciations, light.
Yes.
And lightness.
It is, yeah. Because even in our emotions, like if we only allow the happiness to be and we still judge our anger, then we're still not in this centeredness. It's accepting our wholeness and saying, okay, I love you, I see you, come up, be angry, yell, scream. That's okay. Because when we allow, and I already feel the energy flow, but when we allow our emotions to flow, that is when we're truly living. It's being able to say yes to everything. And also what I loved in your surrendering, because that's important. I also followed this path of spiritual bypass for a time and living there instead of, but now I'm also being invited to be here. But the surrendering is in also letting go of the mind's idea of how life needs to be, because our soul has a path. It is calling us. And as you shared, like you sitting 3 months and suddenly amazing book came on your path and all of that, but it is because you started to listen. But it most of the time looks different than what our mind wants our life to be, because our mind is still in the programming. And can we truly let go and say to life, okay, I open myself and show me. I am present. Show me. And I follow that. But that is scary. And then we need to be centered in ourselves to say, okay, I feel confident enough and centered enough to say yes to everything that life, the growth, the pain, all of it. Because in my own journey, I also noticed that my most challenging moments have also been my most awakening moments. And it's through me not walking away and sitting in the discomfort that I had the most growth. But that's most of the time not a good advertisement for programs or all of that. I will sit with you in your most darkest with love, but you need to go through it. And I will sit next to you, but you need to feel it. And that's the only way to move through it. Yeah. And that's what I love about your theater. Because you're also giving people an opportunity to express.
Expression. That's where the motion starts. Emotions, energy, emotion. We all know that. But that's what happens all the time when we start playing. Yesterday I was in a group and we stand up in a circle. We did this kind of warming up, and then I asked children to turn around and play an emotion. I call out fear. And then they turn around and stay in fear. But there's 12 children acting a play of fear, but 12 different possibilities of an emotion called fear.
Yes.
So I always say, here, 1 + 1 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go on, go on.
Yeah.
In school, 1 and 1 is 2. And that's where the limitation starts. There are a lot of possibilities available. But we need to open up to see them. And we get free. That's what emotions and expression does. It frees yourself from limitations. Don't think, just do. And follow your, there you get it again, your inner urge, your inner guidance, your inner, how do you call it?
Yes.
And when you are permitting yourself to do so, you also come with self-acceptation or self-love. There's a bridge I see in children, because they are not, they get rid of those dictating voices inside of their heads who tells us that we need to do something perfectly, or we need to do it, we need to adapt to the surrounding, or we are very curious about what people think of me. All those archetypical voices in our head that are screaming all day long are vanishing when they're acting and playing. It's not, they're gone.
And it's also in your story. If you, when you were growing up and you were daydreaming and had bigger questions about life, if then you would have a surrounding that said, these questions are beautiful, keep going. Imagine how your life would unfold, instead of like your surroundings saying, okay, you need to fit in, you need to be like everyone else, quiet down, these questions are not valid, this is how life needs to be. So what a gift.
I kind of chose my mother to guide that process of this little boy, because she knew, she understood me quite well. And there was always space to express and to feel. So that I need to have some credits to my mother for dealing with this boy. But deep inside, sometimes I thought, okay, is the world crazy, or is it me who is crazy? Now my daughter tells me that it's both. Both.
I get it. Yes, but they are so wise. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like we try to, or well, just society, but I also try to give my girls the most freedom in their thinking and in their being, because I learned so much from them. I was already so much sometimes in the programming and because that was back then.
Get you
But
back
now
into
it's like, please express yourself and also question your teacher. Not in a, but just question. It's not what you learn at school that everything is true. Please follow in your heart. You don't always have to express it to the teacher, because I know that can create some dynamics. But honor, like our body, our system is our truth detector. If you truly listen again, and that's what I love about theater, and because you're allowing people to come back into their body and in their feeling, this gut feeling, like, okay, if someone is sharing, does this resonate with me, or is it not my truth? Or
now that theater is not only playing a character. That's a misunderstanding, in my opinion.
Yes.
But there are a lot of shamanistic practices in theater. We work with breath work. There's a lot being aware of your being conscious of your physical well-being, physical awareness, but also the mental processes of being creative.
Yes.
When I go to school and I ask children, nowadays they learn a lot of spelling. We're being tested on spelling tests and all that kind of stuff. And I do not say that is wrong. It's okay to write properly and everything. So that's not an. But when I ask children to stand in line and tell a story, one by one, and after clapping, the other one goes ahead with the story.
Yes.
They can't make something up.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then I think, whoa, where is creation should be the new currency?
Yes.
Because that opens up a field of the possibilities, and it helps you to deal with problems and being proactive.
Yeah.
And there we made a made a turn too much to the other side.
Yes.
Now we have to come back and get it together again.
Yeah. And
so
that is in
there is a lot more than it's 4 dimensions. And means people in Dutch, dimensions.
Yes.
Physical, but also mental, but also emotional and social or spiritual.
Yeah.
That's what we touch.
I love
that's where the spark, this little Atman, grows and starts to rise like a Venus again.
Yes. Yes. It is. While grounded, because that's what I also noticed. But it is both.
It's a part of our education. We start off in every school I get is practices with grounding. There are a lot of practices, exercises who start off with grounding. That's the base. You need to be grounded. The roots need to be planted into the earth, because the lotus can grow without the dirt. That's the essence.
It's also how we bring change, and it reminds me of, whether you believe or whatever your background is, but just also the story of Jesus. If he would come to us like an angel, most of us wouldn't believe him, but he came in physical form, and it's understanding like this is technology. Like we only have such a small understanding of what our body, this magical vessel can do.
Yeah.
But it's
the more we learn, the less we know. Huh?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. And it's
and that's what the Nag Hammadi is very nice readings, but there are a lot of more of that writings. But it's about gnosis, wisdom, the inner vision, which is located in the heart. Yeah. And I always say, children, it's only 25 minutes. 20 could be.
Would be good.
25 centimeters from here to here.
Yeah.
But here we are so conditioned on the head that needs to know everything. Yeah. And that is also my path of getting back after reading a lot and diving into it, getting back to just feeling and being aware at the present moment. Yeah. Then it occurs. Every creation starts from there.
Yeah. But it is in the unknown. In the, like, it reminds me of when world records are broken or new ideas are created. It is in the unknown. And that's, we're navigating this new earth, not with examples. No, we're navigating it from within, but there's no understanding of what we're going through and what we're creating. Because that's, before a world record is broken, a lot of people think that's not possible. But there was one soul that believed and that kept believing beyond the physical manifestation, beyond the physical proof. And it is this inner guidance that we need to follow to,
when I was reading that, this is like this is a book work, but that's what touched my inner heart. When I read the Upanishads, there was a phrase of people walking in a forest, blindfolded, and being struggling with themselves and kind of being ignorance, trying to find the way out of the forest, until they realized that the way out was way in.
Yes.
Was inside. Because I always say sometimes you need to put be blindfolded, because then the blindfolded, how do you say that, the blinddoek, the
blindfold, yes.
Goes off. We need to turn it on to get it off.
Yes. Because otherwise we're so
sometimes
distracted.
Close your eyes, then the blindfolded goes off. That's what I wanted to say.
I love that. Yes, it is. Because you also talk a lot about your senses and all of that. We have all of these senses, but it's going within, and
we are connected with the original field. There is a straight line in the middle, not right, not left, because that's the duality. What I see in this world, you always need to pick sides. No, stop picking sides. It's not about picking sides. That's an illusion. That is also sometimes a manipulation, because it keeps us divided. And from the heart, we are all connected. When I'm standing in a line with a group, I sometimes have this exercise. I say, all right, put your hand on your heart, or think about your heart, or get with your attention to your heart. Doesn't matter what, be there.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you some questions. And when your heart answers yes, you step forward. When your heart answers no, you step backwards. And I say, okay, talking negative about each other. They all the people, all of the people. Stand in front. But when I ask, being listening to someone, helping somebody, they always are the same in their reactions. It's not divided, because the heart knows what's okay, what we want.
Yes.
When I drop a political point of view,
yes, that's totally different.
That's created. That's a concept that's a construct in our head.
Yeah.
So we need to keep in our gut feeling here. The women are so wise. Children, little girls, man, they carry a wisdom. Also children, when they get some space, there's a lot that is coming out.
Yeah.
But we need to listen to the children and ask them questions about themselves, about life, about what they want to know, and not preaching the program. That time, it's over. It's not working anymore, because they are getting depressed. Why is there a lot of depression? Why are a lot of people sick? We need to get to the root. We need to get to the cause of things, and not dealing with the consequences anymore.
And I think when we grew up, there was because there was there was no internet and there was no social media, so we played outside, and there our creativity was activated. And that's what you see now with a lot of young children. They're already fixed in the school system, but then after school there is a lot of digital things, but it's still program, or it's still mind space. It's not really for a lot of but really being in this creative space and allowing, so I love that, and holding space for our children to speak and to express and to be heard and to be seen. Yeah. I think
a relative of mine, a girl of 15 years old, came to saw a lesson at my theater school, and she was with a friend, and she said afterwards, she said, "Wow, these children are very free-minded,
yes.
free-spirited, how you call it, free of expression," and it made them a bit of stiff because they were confronted with the, "Whoa, okay, what's happening with me when I see those people being just being and having a good time with each other?" And it's very sad to see that a lot of people need alcohol to get out of her, to get out of the roof,
Yes.
to get out of, how do you say, out of the roof? It's a Dutch expression.
Yeah. Yes.
To get
yeah.
out of the head.
Yes.
Out of the head.
Yes.
Yeah,
out of your
good.
head. Yeah. It is. I always love to say, like, look through life through the lens of love, because even when you then get triggered, if you truly look through your heart, you see the question of growth that is happening within yourself, and you take responsibility instead of pushing it back to someone else or blaming. Yeah. So the lens of love.
There's a lot of projection going on to the outside work, inside out, and that's the essence of creating, in my opinion, creating a world that's less divided.
But it starts within. It's not there. We need to take responsibility for this. And we can only, like, if we contribute with love, that is our contribution to the field and to everything that happens. And
when we how do you say it? When we heal the war in ourselves, we dissolve the war in the outside world.
Yes.
And it's not the powers that were that are doing that. It's also a collective field. And when we heal that inner pain or inner, could feel as a war, inner struggle, then the outside world is acting differently. And then we're creating a better world than, what we're doing now.
It is, yeah, it is. And with like everyone tuning in, are there maybe some little things people can do to get more in that, create like what you're teaching in your theater? Maybe you have some suggestions to all the listeners, or how they can step out of that comfort zone and really reconnect to their emotions or their feelings and their expression.
Yeah, it's not me who needs to tell them what to do. They need to listen to themselves. And everybody has another blueprint. So everybody needs something else. For me, quietness works, but physically, like boxing or running could help. But to deal with the deeper layers of yourself, start feeling, start being aware of the present moment, and just being aware of what happens inside of your body. When I work with people individually, I do a lot of breath work. So I pump up the ball, and then the ball gets to the surface, and then they see a lot. And then I always start with asking the questions, make a body scan. And what do you feel? And somebody says, I've got cold fingers, I got a sore knee, or whatever. But we always come back to a elder line. Always come to a family line. So your body, that's a kind of proof that your body has a remembrance in it that is beyond our measurements.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And then the stone in the river starts moving again. And it gets little stones, and then it dissolves. And you're free.
Yes.
So it starts with being quiet. Just feel feel your resistance. Instead of projecting it to the outer world, feel your inner resistance. And be aware. That's where it starts, and then that's an ongoing process, of course.
Yes.
Don't lose yourself, because we can be healing. No, keep on. You also need to live.
Yeah.
With a free heart and a flexible mind, it's more easier to live without fear than living with all those constructs that are holding us back into that pod.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Because even healing can be a thing we do on our to-do list. It's really what I notice in my own life. Life is our greatest teacher. Be present. And sometimes life brings us joy, new awarenesses, beautiful inspiration, beautiful connections. And sometimes life brings us a challenge, but then it's accepting, okay, I see you, I acknowledge you, I'm ready, I'm no longer running, I am present. And in that, things start to shift. So I love that. It's
and dare to walk into that wall, bump into the wall.
Yes, learn, experience, do. Yes,
yeah. Pain is also an awareness, eh? Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And then again, it's accepting with love. So I love what you shared. And I want to invite everyone. I will share your LinkedIn. And for the Dutch people, also you have a beautiful book at Theater des Levens. It's on bol.com. It's a Dutch site. But I will share the link below. So thank you for.
And thank you for your good work in planting seeds in people's hearts. That's really good, Kim. Keep on doing that, because you've got this nice, then the circle is around, piece of puzzle.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, and together we're creating this beautiful web. So
yes,
I thank you for sharing your wisdom, and I want to thank everyone tuning in for your presence. Please follow, like, share, whatever way resonates with you, as it really helps spreading the show. And for now, I just send you much love and looking forward to seeing you in the next Soul Love podcast. So for now, much love. Bye. Thank you for joining this episode of Soul Love. If you want to find out more about what we do, you can find it below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Much love.